Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading, and this is for the first 10 days of August 2026. And Scorpio, you are the star of this astrological insight. Whoops, I have my deck upside down. So we have, if your sun sign is not Scorpio, we all have a little bit of Scorpio in us somewhere. If you're not, if you do have your birth chart done, which house is Scorpio in? That's where this is most likely to be prominent for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's perfect for you. So, and take what works for you, leave the rest. All right, we do have justice coming in for something. And this is, justice is a double-edged sword. If you're on the right side of this sword, then you are, it's a blessing coming in. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, spiritual and physical, then this is, well, you've been caught. And now you're going to, there's consequences for your actions. The veil behind her represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. And it also is representing her right foot forward like this is showing that she's ready at a moment's notice to move forward with the justice. Now, justice starts on the spiritual realm and comes down to the physical. And so she's waiting for, the judgment coming in from the spiritual court. And this energy is the underlying energy for the reading. So there's some sort of justice you're looking for, or that is looking for you. And this is talking about also redemption from karma. Now, a lot of people do feel that karma is punishment, but it's actually cause and effect for your actions and sometimes your inactions. So you could have direct karma, you directly take an action, or you don't, and it causes someone a lot of suffering and struggle and maybe even their demise. And, that is direct karma. If you can also have indirect, which is associations with other people, and most commonly with your ancestors. They may have unfinished business before they cross the veil. And then the bloodline has to clean up the debt, the karmic debt for them, for the bloodline. And we can also have associations with, not just our ancestors and descendants, but with friends and extended family members, people we work with, companies, whatever energy that is. And so then there also is the karmic spaces. And we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes, and the karmic spaces are very easy to fall into. Most people tend to, and in at least a few of them throughout a lifetime. So the karma is talking about redemption. So sometimes that could be for cleaning up. If there's a lot of indirect karma, it could be for cleaning up a bloodline, and or just for yourself. And then we have the Nine of Wands here. And the Nine of Wands is talking about an energy of the wounded warrior. This is saying that this is for your internal forces, and that's the bottom part of this spread. So it's saying that you're doing your best to stay on your destined path. You want to be the best version of you can be. You've been, it's been exhausting, but you've managed to do really well here. You've managed to bring in 8 wands. These are seeds that you planted through your actions, and you've got, 8 wands growing already, and you're leaning hard on the 9th. You look exhausted. There's been a lot of challenges, it looks like, along the way here. And your head is bandaged, so it could be saying you actually have a headache from it all. But you only have 1 more wand to go, and then you're at the 10 of Wands and ready to have your harvest. We have, I meant to put, why am I putting that there? All right, so then we have the internal forces. This is about how you feel about your self-image. So, 6 of Pentacles is, Pentacle energy first is about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. And of course, a big part of that is money. So the Pentacle energy is the element of earth. And so it's about physical matter on earth and matters of the earth. And it's talking about, of course you need money to be able to have a good lifestyle on earth. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking more than just making money. It's talking about lifestyle. This card is saying that you've planted seeds and this is your harvest. You have enough to give to others here, and what you're generously doing with this person. But you have the scales of justice above this person's head. And if you look closely, you'll notice that they've got something in their back pocket here. So this is saying, like, this is a grifter that would rather use your money and risk your money to make money than risk their own. And so that could be some sort of justice coming in for some sort of energy around that. This can also be talking about breadcrumbing energy, like feeling like you're not getting paid what you should for the work that you're doing. And then we have the Seven of Cups coming in. Seven of Cups has been coming in a lot in this readings, and I'm kind of happy to see it because it is kind of a mixed bag here. It is talking about, the cups are about love. These are opportunities. These are gifts from the universe. And it's talking about, there's 7 cups here and each of them has a different gift in it. Sometimes this energy can represent, like you're like a black hole here and you're just sucking all this opportunity in towards you. And, like a black hole, you're the center of your universe. So you're going to have to put your own spin on them, whether they become like, an opportunity or not, or if you see them as that. This is talking about the possibilities are all there, but they're wrapped in a challenge. And you can see that just from the thick smoke around them is saying that, you have to use your discernment, the give and take. How much are you going to invest in others and in a project? What are you going to invest in? That type of energy. And so these cups sometimes can represent an energy where you can get totally overwhelmed because there's so many, and which one? And you don't really know for sure. So you have to be discerning about being able to see the possibilities within the challenges. The one cup is about beauty, and it's talking about your outer beauty. And, and it's beautiful to be beautiful, and being beautiful can be significantly make life easier for sure in the 3D. Having said that, it can also make it more difficult if you rely too heavily on your outer beauty, then you don't develop your inner beauty, and eventually that will catch up with you. And then we have this shrouded figure here, and we don't know what's underneath that shroud. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be ugly. It's a process of finding out. And then we have this snake. And so for some people, they would see this as a yellow-bellied coward slithering through the grass. And other people might look at it as an opportunity for rebirth and shedding your skin like a snake, letting go of anything that's no longer benefiting you so you can make room for the new. And we have a castle here as well. Now, a castle can be a beautiful thing for sure. Castles are expensive though, and they're a lot of work because they're a castle. They're big, and quite often they're built on the side of a steep cliff, so they can be quite isolating. And then we have the bouquet of flowers here. Now, the bouquet is talking about, are you going to open your petals up and enjoy the sun and the beauty, and make life, make the most of life, basically, or are you just going to sit there and be closed up? And then we have the laurel wreath, which represents victory, and sometimes they lay these on a coffin. And we have the dragon energy. So the dragon energy you could look at as, oh, it's scary and evil, or you could look at it from the perspective that it is an energy of good fortune and power. And so this is your image of how you are right now, and this is your abundance. So you have a lot of opportunities coming your way. You have to use your discernment to be able to see the possibilities within the challenges. Now we have the Three of Cups energy here. I'm not surprised to see this card. It actually has not been coming out very much, but we do have a full moon at this time. The full moon was 2 days ago now, but we're still going to really feel that energy for the next day or two. And generally these three come out with the full moon energy, and sometimes the new moon as well. this is talking about a celebration, but this card, you know, there's 3 cups here, and quite often the cups represent romantic love. So they don't have to. They can represent love of all kinds, and they can also represent something you love to do or something you love to be. What bothers me about this card is the 3 of them are toasting, but nobody's looking at each other. They're actually looking at the cups, so they're toasting something that has happened. And quite often this card will show up when there's third-party involvement in a romantic relationship. And in many cultures, if you toast someone, like in Europe, if they toast with you and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you, because they have a very big superstition over there that if you don't look someone in the eye when you're toasting them, it's going to cause 7 years bad luck for you and for them. And they'll be like, look me in the eye. And so this energy, it kind of defeats the purpose. And so I will reserve our judgment on this. Definitely, if they could be celebrating something, but definitely they're not celebrating each other. They're celebrating something. And then we have this energy of the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is the most that you can have here. So this is saying you've managed to get, you know, that 9th wand planted, and now and the 10th one, and now you are bringing your harvest home. And so you can see this person is heavily weighed down here. This is a heavy load for him. And the energy is, you know, saying, you know, if this is really fortunate, this is the fruit of your labors, and all of these wands are very heavy because they're heavy with the fruit of your labor, and you're bringing in a really bountiful harvest. But a lot of the time, these wands can represent the energy of burdens that you're carrying for other people. And it's saying that if, you know, like if you've ever heard that saying, you can't see the forest because of the trees, it's when you're so up close and personal and into the detail that you can't see the big picture anymore. And he's really, really close to home here, but he doesn't feel like he's close to home. He can't see because he's so up close here. He's got his head right in there, and he can't see really where he's going. Sorry. And his home is closer than he thinks. And this card quite often can be saying, keep going. Like, don't quit now. You're almost there. A lot of times people quit right before they're about to be successful. And it's also talking, if you have any burdens that do not belong to you, you need to put them down now, especially with justice coming in. Because if you're carrying the burdens of other people, you're going to be the one that gets hit with their karma. And you don't want that. So this is talking about also, there may be a better way for you to do something, that you could delegate some responsibility and then be in an energy where you have less of a load to carry. So that's what this energy is saying. You need to make sure that you keep going. Don't quit now. You're closer to your goal than you think you are. And put down burdens that don't belong to you. And then, or find better ways to do things, or delegate, do some things to lessen the load for yourself. We have the Knight of Swords energy, and this is talking about information or communication coming in. Now, the Page of Swords is generally running from something, and I feel like he's running for justice from this energy here of your internal forces here. So this is creativity, romance, and children. There could be something going on, and he doesn't want this justice to come in. He's running from it. He didn't, and it's also an energy of, oh my goodness, like you managed to get back, you know, you managed to you're getting your harvest in. And I feel like this energy was not expecting that to happen. So there's some sort of information, communication coming in, and this is the element of the air. And the swords do represent that element, but they represent mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. So this is about thoughts. And this could, you know, how do we express thoughts? Through words, and those could be written or they could be verbal. We can only see half his sword, so maybe he only has half the information, And we have the energy where we can't see the point, and maybe he can't see the point of his information as well. We have a big red flag on the back of his helmet, and even the sky looks stressed out. You know, it looks like someone took the sword and just cut into the sky. He's riding this horse hard, and the horse in tarot represents your heartfelt energy and passion. And so this poor horse is totally stressed out, and they're running against the wind through barren land. A lot of the times this energy can be talking about, a fool rushing in kind of energy. Sometimes this can talk about an investigation going on, legal or illegal. And it can also be talking about like technology being used, like hidden cameras and hot mics and private eyes, gaslighting, sometimes, gang stalking, following someone around, that type of energy. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles energy is talking about, again, your health, wealth, and happiness. The King of Pentacles is known and highly respected for his business acumen. He has grapes all over his robe here. And grapes in tarot represent grapes represent something that is hard to grow, and yet he's able to do so. So this is talking about being able to grow a business, increase your finances, provide a real good lifestyle. And this is generally pretty stable energy when it's in the upright. The King of Pentacles would represent an energy of someone very easily could be in the financial field, someone who works at a bank. If it's a banker, this would be someone that was at least a manager or higher up. This energy can also represent the energy of, accountants, financial advisors, wealth management, retirement planning, auditors, insurance salesman, that type of energy, retirement planning. And it can also definitely be about real estate. And if it is about real estate and it's a realtor, it would be someone that's dealing with more high-end properties and, someone who's established. This also could be mortgage brokers, stockbrokers, mining, from the ground, something that comes out of the earth, like gold, silver, gas, oil, diamonds, that sort of thing. And then it can also talk about, stockbroking, and it can be maybe even someone who's like in charge of the federal budget or, for a country, or the provincial budget. So a minister or someone, in charge of that, whatever country it is in, a political figure that is in charge of the financial budget. And it can also represent the energy of an entrepreneur that is really successful. So this is talking about all sorts of that type of energy, though. It generally has to do with matters of the earth and of lifestyle. We do have an energy here of, for the internal forces. It looks like you managed to get your harvest in, and you're still on your feet. So good on you. Like you did really well here. This is talking about, success. Being successful in business and having a good lifestyle. This is your daily routine, and so this is something that you've been doing for a while. Like it's like this energy here of the Six Pentacles is about upper middle class. So you're on your way towards moving forward, and there seems to be more opportunities coming in. You're tired though, and there's this energy here, there's something going on, and we need justice. Now we're going to look at the external forces. External forces, like the internal forces, you'll know it's an internal force because the question will be asking is, what if they do this, or what if they do that, or what if I have to do this and I don't get it done, or, what if, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And IF. And then the external forces are more about forces that are coming in towards you that you don't really have control over. Like you can't control whether someone loves you or not, or whether, you know, what they say or do, or what they don't do and what that they said they would. But you do have the ability to control your response to it, so that you respond to the energy or instead of reacting to it. Generally, when we respond to energy, instead of being like this fool rushing in energy, we're going to have a better outcome. So the external forces from the bottom of the deck, we have a new cycle coming in. So this is talking, I feel like, because this last card is, your lifestyle changing, and it's quite lucrative compared to Six Pentacles. This is someone that is even, it's saying you've taken advantage of these possibilities, maybe worked on a few projects. You have a new harvest that you have brought in now. You're tired, but I feel like there's something going on, and I feel like it has to do with Pentacle energy and justice here. That's what this energy is about. And then we have, for the external forces, it's talking about you being on a new cycle. So this is good energy to see. It's talking about now that you're here, this is pushing you into a new way of being, a new cycle, perhaps. This is about you meeting new people that want to invest in your business, or that are more in alignment with your goals, that type of energy. We do have the Fool starts at the 0 point, and he's taking a leap of faith to have a really good cycle this time around. He doesn't have a whole lot of baggage, but he's taking what he learned from the last cycle and he's applying it here. The sun means that, it's white, and it's talking about his innocence and a clean slate of being able to move forward, having learned from the old cycle. That the tattered sleeves are indicating that. And so he's taking a leap of faith that this is going to be a really good cycle. We have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is talking about, yes, people are really noticing that you're doing really well and that you've mastered some sort of skill set. And you're starting to be admired for it. Now, this card is saying that you're on this bench here in an elevated position. This is a sculptor, and look at all the beautiful stonework that he's doing. This energy can be talking about these people want to collaborate with him, and the spotlight is on your work. So they've heard about that you do really good work. They have plans in their hand, and they want you to come and work for them. So the energy here, it's saying this is awesome. People are starting to really recognize your ability. Now, quite often this can be someone that you have a different skill set. Like anyone could learn how to carve stone, but to do it really well, that might be a different thing. And so this quite often can represent people that are like in the entertainment industry, or, in specialized fields. Like this could represent, actor, actress, and producers, and that wanting you to play a lead role on Broadway. It could be on the stage. This could represent an energy of, being a really good singer, being in a band, whatever, and them wanting you to go on tour and producing your music. It could be, you might be an amazing athlete, and these could be scouts coming to offer you scholarships to their college or university, or it could even be an energy of you're already there and now they're offering for you to play on the team, at a pro level. It's that type of energy. You've got you're standing out above the crowd. And so this can quite often involves artistry in that. What we're really noticing these days for sure is with the files coming out and everything going on, that we have to really, really be careful, especially particularly in those kinds of industries, that we're not signing up for something that is out of alignment with the way we want to live our life. And so, because you're just going to end up with a bunch of karma if that happens and not enjoy your lifestyle. So it's saying, bottom line is, make sure that if you are signing any contracts or agreements, that you really have them looked into properly by a lawyer that specializes in those kind of contracts, someone who knows what they're doing. Because many people have been in the, signed up and really have a lot of regret after and end up being breadcrumbed while everybody's making money off of their back and working really, really long hours, high pressure, that kind of energy. And this quite often can represent secret society energy. Secret societies, they're, once you're involved with them, you're involved. And the problem is that they approach, the group is always more important than any individual in the group. And there's quite often a lot of loopholes, and there's this breadcrumbing energy. It's a lot of industries are controlled by secret societies. So again, make sure that you really have the any contract or agreements you make looked over by a reputable lawyer that understands the contract and the industry. But this is good news. It's saying that you're mastering your skill set and people are really noticing. And then we have this energy of the Eight of Wands coming in, and that's talking about some energy has already been launched here. So it's already happening on the spiritual realm, and it's coming into the physical, and it's like launched. Sometimes this can talk about conception actually of a child, or a conception of a project, a new way of being, like a rebirth kind of energy. So that could be talking about you making a transition of some sort, moving. It could be like maybe you're moving to a new area, or you're like you maybe have your degree now, you have your doctorate, you have your ticket, you have whatever it is you need to actually be moving forward in a real strong way. And it could talk about having launched, the wands represent that passionate action. So definitely there is some, and this is in transition. So this is your partnerships, commitments, and spousal energy. So be really careful who you marry to. Whoever you invite into your social circle is going to have a big effect on how well you do in life. And a lot of times we know that, but sometimes, I don't know, when it comes to choosing partners for, to marry or whatever, some people put more energy into purchasing a new vehicle than they do into making a commitment like that. Or we might make the commitments really young and maybe not understand what a big commitment it really is. And maybe we're a little immature. So we have the mental prison here. And so this is talking about, like, it's almost like this is talking about external forces, right? And you're on this new journey, and these external forces are coming towards you, and you're in this energy, like this is the energy you're feeling, like kind of like this is so much, right? There's a lot of decisions to be made. We have 8 wands of action, passionate action coming towards you. And that could be really good action, or it could be you found out maybe you didn't get a good lawyer. Like there could be that kind of energy. But this is talking about it causing you a lot of overthinking. And so this is someone who's having a hard time making up their mind. Like, do I really want to do this? Do I won't? It could be that type of energy. And, it's when you're duty bound, and sometimes this energy might be, especially like maybe something would be really good for you, but you have a family and maybe it's not a great time. Maybe your kids are just finishing off high school and they only got a year to go or something, and you don't want to move them, in that type of energy. Or they're on a sporting, really good, and they're looking to move into something and you don't want to disturb that. So sometimes it can be that, or maybe you have aging parents and you don't want to be too far. Or there could be so many reasons. And so this is talking about having put 7 thoughts behind you now. And I feel like this is that duty-bound energy and not really wanting to see the whole, like it's overwhelming. I feel like it's so much opportunity, so much action, and maybe pressure, And this is saying, do not rush in like a fool. Take your time regardless. If they're trying to get you to sign and saying, well, if you don't sign in 24 hours or something, then you're going to lose it. No, like you need to have time to have it looked at properly by, you have to find a lawyer that can look at it for you. So this energy is talking about, having put certain thoughts behind you now, 7 of them, and this is the one that you're going to go with. Maybe there's all these choices that you have. Like there's a bunch of people coming in. Maybe you're, the scouts are there and you're playing on a professional team and you have like 4 teams to choose from or something. And so, you have to look into it, and they're in different cities and, that type of energy. A lot of these problems can be good problems to have, but they still can be very overwhelming because this energy, at one point, there was, I feel, way more water here. Water in tarot represents emotion. And so you might be feeling really emotional because you have to leave your comfort zone for one thing. You've got your back to your castle here. And also this can represent having to leave your home, having to leave the people you love, that type of energy to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. And but the right foot is forward on dry land, and the left one is in this little puddle here. It's shallow though, so I feel at one point there was way more emotion, but you've worked through a lot of that now, and I feel you're going to move forward with this choice, and you're just going to cut yourself free and take that blindfold off and say, okay, this is the decision that I'm making. And you notice that the justice figure, her right foot is forward as well. So it could also be about something to do with this justice coming in regarding something. This is transition, and this is your higher knowing. So I do feel some sort of energy has come in here, like information or communication about some sort of justice. And maybe you signed a contract or were about to, and you're waiting to hear back because it wasn't a fair contract. So maybe now you're thinking, like maybe I want to look at some other offers rather than this one. So it can be a lot of that type of energy, making a lot of decisions. And then we have the Empress energy. So this is talking about being a very powerful manifester at this time. And this is your career, your reputation, public image, that sort of energy. This is talking about the Empress is, she embodies the qualities of all 4 of the queens. So this is talking about manifesting at a very high level. And she puts her plans into action. She doesn't worry about it. Like this is an energy of, she understands how to put plans into action and manifest. And it's talking about this energy coming towards you. So there could be an Empress energy that might be beneficial for your career or reputation, or this can be talking about after going through all these decisions and everything that you're approaching this Empress energy from having all these decisions to make and all this energy to deal with. It's quite a lot here with this new cycle. I feel like a lot of it is good, but definitely you're tired. And the other part is that we only have 8 wands launched here, so maybe you left 2 behind, and they were heavy burdens that you were carrying, and now you feel a little bit lighter. We have the sun coming in, so this is good to see. This is saying blessings galore. The sun is the happiest card in the deck, so when the sun comes out, it's saying a happy ending. And it's God's energy. It's saying you're on your destined path here. And you notice here that we have that veil. This is like this banner here is representing your destined path. And that you're a child of God and you're meant to be happy. The sunflowers are turning to make sure they capture the sun's rays. And this is talking about you being in this happy energy and that you're meant to be happy. You're a child of God and you're meant to be a happy person. And then we have the, you're riding this pony, bareback, no worries, no reins. You're just giving her and you're on your path. And so this is talking about the truth coming out about whatever maybe justice you needed. And maybe you managed to get out. Maybe you were worried because you didn't know which contract to sign, or you almost signed this one and then you found out just in the nick of time that there was a clause in there that would have been like, maybe you're a rock and roll singer and they were telling you, okay, once you sign this, we'll get you started on that country music career. And you're like, country music career? I am a rock and roller. And they're like, well, not anymore. When you sign this, and if you would have signed it, you would have been like, oh my gosh, I hate country music. Well, too bad, you signed the contract. So it's talking about reading the fine print. But here it's saying that you have a lot of blessings coming in because this energy has been, you looked into it properly. You did your due diligence. And this new cycle is going to be very lucrative, a much better lifestyle than what was going on here. You're not going to be so much in this energy. Like you might be still working towards, putting the work in and having a lot of work, but I feel like you're going to be like free of any energy that's holding you back. And then we have look at this, because we have the night. This is something you've been waiting for a long time. I feel like this is maybe an energy of, being an entrepreneur maybe and struggling, like having to do everything, and now that you have enough money, you can hire people and, delegate, and you're not like working like, 20 hours a day. Now you're only working 12 hours a day, like a regular entrepreneur energy. So this is talking about the Knight of Pentacles, and it takes a long time. Out of all of the knights in the deck, the Knight of Pentacles is the most slow. And it can take, it feels like it can take forever. He's literally at a standstill here. So this can be like, man, you've been working your butt off and you finally have this energy. This is about blessings coming in. Any hidden illusions, secrets, anything that's stopping you from being in this much better lifestyle. So if this contract wasn't good, another one came in that was better. It's that type of energy. And it might have, like, this is the slowest night. His horse is literally at a standstill. So it can talk about, putting, a lot of people might say, wow, this guy had overnight success, or this gal, and you're like, no. A lot of times overnight success, it appears to be overnight to people who didn't do the work. But if you've done the work, it's not overnight. It just looks that way. But this is feeling really good. And all of the readings have kind of been like this, where there's hardship, but there's also some really good energy coming in. It's kind of like a half and half. Like you're definitely going to have to do your due diligence in that. There's not a lot of new energy, like astrologically, in the beginning 10 days. I mean, we do have this big full or new moon coming up on the 12th of August. And that is the new moon, and it's an eclipse energy. And we do have the eclipse energy from February 17th to March, and on March 3rd. We had 2 eclipses, and that takes about 6 months for it to wind up. So if you want a little more further clarity, you can look back to what was going on back mid-February and the beginning of March. That might give you further clarity as to your situation here now as well. Chiron is or Chiron. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. I think it's Chiron is how some, but I've heard people pronounce it both ways. So I think I prefer Chiron. So Chiron is, it's about your health. And so Chiron's going retrograde. So it's talking about taking the time to really look after your health. If you've been make sure that you do something to ease the burden a bit and start to enjoy your lifestyle. So you're not just working and there's no play involved. Like this is talking about, you don't want to be exhausted in this energy for long. Sometimes that's what happens when we're really moving up the ladder, and there's just sometimes, especially if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes that's just the way it is. But you want to make sure that you're looking after your health. That energy is until the beginning of 2027 in January. So it's saying take that opportunity to take time to, chill out a little, enjoy the success that you've earned up to this point. Don't just like run and go into it. A lot of entrepreneurs have a tendency to do that, staying busy. And other than that, like we're dealing with some of the energies that came in the last 6 months. But there's not a whole lot of real pressing energy in the beginning of, the beginning of it was a little with this full moon. We also had Saturn moved into Aries, and so it was a little bit of aggressive energy, and you may still be feeling that. The full moon was quite, it was pretty edgy. There was a lot of edgy energy to it. But we're going to clarify now, and I'll use my oracle cards, and the numbers on these cards represent the numbers of the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, and it's Tales from the Vector. The website is talesfromthevector.com. I will put them in the order they appear here in the description box below, and I will so that you can take a look at which paintings if you want even further clarity after this. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. This is an oracle that I've been working on since 2007. I completed all the paintings in 2020, but I've only just had time now to I wanted to do a channel and play with the cards on the channel before I write the information up all the way. So this is talking about shooting star energy. This is about your base chakra, and that's about survival and, being in that, this pentacle energy. And it's about a good attitude can take you a long way. And so there is some sort of justice. Sometimes the justice can be representative of an energy of just the justice is of having, for all your hard work, having the success coming in towards you. And then we have the Pisces energy here. And I feel like this is talking about Neptune. Pisces is ruled by Saturn and Neptune, so it's probably talking about both. I remember I said that Saturn moved into the sign of Aries just on the full moon, I think it was. And there is a lot of energy with that full moon. And it was joining Neptune. Neptune is moved into Aries about 3 months ago. Now the thing about Neptune is kind of how we approach our relationships with money, with business, with love, with all of our relationships with ourselves, with others, how we carry ourselves, and our character, basically moving into that. And then Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces for 14 years, and about 2.5 to 3 months ago, it moved into the sign of Aries. And so a lot of it was very comfortable in Pisces because Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Saturn. And this energy is very, it's how the systems you put into place, and for 14 years, if you're in business, you figure out, okay, it works if I do it this way, and and now 14 years later, Neptune has now moved into the sign of Aries, and it's going to be in Aries for 14 years. It's very different from this Pisces energy. The Pisces energy is more forgiving, oh, it all, just breathe a little, it'll work out. It always works out when I do it this way. But now Neptune is in Aries, and Aries is like a newborn baby and not the senior executive. And it's a fire sign, not a water sign. And it's ruled by Mars, which is way more aggressive energy. And the baby's crying. If you've ever had a newborn baby, you know what that's like. You want to please the baby. For something so little and helpless, the newborn baby can be very, very demanding. And everybody's running around trying to figure out how to please the baby. It's kind of like that energy. So it's saying, if you're finding that what you, like you're wondering, like what, a lot of people can feel this energy, like, did I lose my touch? Like all of a sudden when I, like things aren't working out for me like they used to. And it could very much be about that energy. A lot of people are feeling that. And so this is talking about maybe having to just tweak things a little and look at things from a different angle, this new energy coming in. It's saying don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like the systems you have in place, a lot of that energy is going to work, but you may have to tweak it a little and do things differently to get the results that you want. It's kind of like when your phone upgrades overnight and then you wake up in the morning and you don't know how to use it again. And then you weren't expecting it. You didn't ask for the update, but here it is. And it's kind of like, man, I'm so busy and now I got to frickin' learn how to use my phone again. It's like, it's just annoying. So, but this is sitting on this lack of awareness. And I feel like this is talking about your needing to tweak your systems so that they work better for you. When you have those upgrades on the phone, like a week later, you're saying, oh, well, there was a few things actually that made life easier. So there could be some, areas that you can do that type of energy. But if you aren't aware of where that's coming from, then it can start to really like bother you. Like, am I losing my touch? Like, what's going on? And so then we have manifesting at a high level from the sacral chakra. And this is all these opportunities and being able to see the possibilities in the challenges and then put your own spin on them. We have the chariot energy. So whatever justice is happening is already happening in the spiritual realm. And the chariot energy is saying things are moving fast. Now it's on these three here. So, this could be that maybe you are making friends in new places, and these ones are actually friendly people who like to dance around the moon energy on the full moon. So take that how it is, but ask them to look you in the eye when they're toasting you if you want to have a good love life, if you believe in that kind of superstition. So the chariot energy can also be talking about a new vehicle, maybe a possibility of travel, even changing location and needing to maybe go to a new neighborhood, whatever, a new country, to be able to take advantage. Like especially like say you're a pro football player now and, you have to move to a new city or something like that. We have the denial energy. What I don't know won't hurt me. Yes, it actually could. And you don't want to be carrying the burdens of other when justice is coming in, because you'll end up getting splattered with their karma. And instead of having this clean slate, you're dealing with their shift. And they're probably not, even, you may not even know that you're dealing with their shift. Or they may never thank you for it. And then they might even resent you for it. So this is talking about surrendering. It's surrendering to God's plan and also the psychic energy around you, using your intuition as well as your logic. And quite often when we're making big changes like this, we'll feel this energy coming in from our ancestors when there's this card showing up. Like you might be clearing energy for more than just yourself. You might be doing it for the bloodline. This could be like old energy that's been sitting around, and it's like, yes, you might be like the first person that has been a pro athlete, or something like that. And then we have in the family tree. And then we have dissemination of information. So this is a lot of times when people want to motivate others, they'll say, oh, you have to believe in yourself. But quite often we can have a lot of limiting beliefs about what we can accomplish. And, especially when you get to this level where you're in an elevated position like that. And a lot of people might have been telling you, well, you have to go get a real job. Like you can't be, a hockey player for the rest of your life. And yeah, you can. You actually made the pro team. So, well, probably not for your life, but you know what I'm saying. You can actually earn your living doing it that way. So you don't want to, sometimes, we have a lot of limiting beliefs. So sometimes we're better off not relying on motivation like that and believing in our own press. And then we have the underlying energy for the Fool is the moon energy. So definitely this full moon is playing a role here. And it's also talking about reckless abandon is when you discipline your mind and you through meditation and prayer, and you don't get all worked up in your emotions and make rash decisions that you regret later. You get a lawyer to look at the contract, that type of energy. We have the need to be right. On here, you need to be right. This can be a karmic space that people fall into where they're right and everybody else is wrong, and that's the way it is. And that's kind of like, no, it's not much fun. Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right all the time? But there's times where you do need to be right, and this is one of those times, and it's sitting right on here. So this can be talking about making mountains out of molehills, but it also can be talking about making molehills out of mountains. There's times when you actually really do need to be right. And we have destruction, yeah. So this is talking about what's good for, what would be a good contract for one person may not be perfect for you because you're a different person and you have different, lifestyle needs. So just remember that, the tactics used, like sometimes people, if you don't want to go along with the program, they'll do their best to destroy what you're trying to build so that you have to do it their way. And then we have Sagittarius energy here. So the Sagittarius energy, I feel this is talking definitely about going on a new adventure and getting out of this energy. Let's get into the manifesting, the happy. This is an energy of once you make this decision, it's a sound decision and you're ready to take that action and move forward. And then we have justice. And so this is I feel like the justice is that you're going to have a really happy lifestyle, that you're going to get what you want. And there might be some pentacle energy coming in from some sort of, because this can be maternal energy as well. So it could be something around that, like maybe some relative or, leaves you, has passed, and you're in their will. Maybe you were their favorite niece or nephew or something like that. And then we have the ego, which is another karmic space. And so it's talking about, if you're careful to make sure that you stay on your destined path and you follow God's plan, basically, you're going to be a happy person. Sometimes staying on track like that, there might be people that try to convince you that, it's way easier if you cut corners and you do it this way and you sell your soul and all of that energy, especially in some industries. But this is talking about a lasting, experience where it's really beneficial for you. That's on your blessings. And then we have the Capricorn. Yeah, mature. Capricorn is the most mature of the element of earth signs. And so this is the most ambitious sign in the zodiac, but it also, it's about being able to see the possibilities and these challenges and not giving up. The glyph for Capricorn is a sea goat. So it's got the front end of a mountain goat, and then it's got a dolphin tail on the end. So if it falls down the mountain, it just gets back up again. It's like this energy, consistent steps of action towards your goal. And so this is talking about, being responsible about how you deal with that energy and making sure you stay on your destined path, being the best version you can be of yourself. And that energy. This is a really good reading, Scorpio. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here, and I feel like you've been doing your due diligence. You've been doing the work, and it's really starting to pay off for you. And some of this could be like extra, that, like an extra, I'm getting like a bonus, like you're receiving a bonus from the universe for doing such a good job here of, hanging in there, moving through the energy, not giving up, like being diligent to be the best version you can be. I'm going to let you go here now. Yes, Stella, I'm going to let you outside in a minute. Shh, shh, shh. Yeah, you're a good girl. So thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. I will be back with another reading. The next astrological reading is going to be for that new moon eclipse energy. And also I will have another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.